music lovers. Once again, we're back with another episode of Shine a Light. And this week, I want to shine a light on R&B singer, soul singer, Chris Walker. Now, when I first heard the song that started off the show, the video, Take Time, man, I really fell in love with that song, and I just really needed to know and find out who it was who did that song. Of course, this was from this album, by Chris Walker. And the song, Take Time, skyrocketed up to the top of the R&B charts, top 5 hit, top 20 Hot 100 hit, I believe. And it really began to establish him as someone to be reckoned with in the R&B game. Eventually, it was followed up with a second single, Giving Me All Your Love, which did the same thing. Moved up to the top of the charts, top 5, Giving Me All Your Love. After 2 big hits at radio, it was believed that this guy was going to be around for a long time. The Quiet Storm even picked up on a third single, No Place Like Love, as well as his rendition of the Roberta Flack song, First Time I Ever Saw Your Face, which was all on this particular album. And so it was a success because he was someone who was on a label that wasn't known for R&B. Pendulum Records was initially, or its early success was in the rap game. Biggest artist that they had at the time was Diggable Planets, Cool Like That. Made them a lot of money, made them up-and-coming and a rising label, run by Ruben Rodriguez, a power broker in the music industry, and in particular the R&B world, with his career at Elektra, and then moved from there over to Pendulum Records, where he wanted to run the show, and then made the shift into, or the jump into, trying to get into the R&B world. And Chris Walker was the example, and they had a great success. With not only the first album, but then also coming with the second album that they put out, which had another great R&B hit that I really loved, Love Tonight. But here's the issue. One of the things that Pendulum Records went through was they switched, from one distribution company to the next distribution company. They changed their socks, or they changed their underwear to a whole another company. Just so you guys know, before the digital age that we see now with streaming and all like that, the power brokers of the music industry were the distributors, not the record labels. The record labels was the sexy name, whether it was Def Jam or Elektra and so forth. That's what everybody knew, but the distribution companies were the ones who got the CDs that they made into the record stores, not the record companies. So they were the ones who know where the money came from. And that's why they were the power brokers. And distribution companies, they were like umbrellas. They would have maybe 20, 30, some would have 50, labels underneath of them that they were distributing, and they made priorities on what was, what singles, which artists, which labels were the ones that they would promote for a particular week or a month and so forth. So you could be on a distribution company, but you may not be a priority by them, which means that you may not be being pushed the way you want to be pushed, which is the reason why, some labels would jump from one to another just because they thought the grass was greener on the other side. I actually worked for a label during the 90s when, stuff like this was coming out, Alpha International Records. And initially we were distributed by EMI, Capitol, and then we moved over to Polygram or Polydor. And actually the shift from EMI to Polydor was actually a positive move for us, because we were able to get not only better distribution, but we also got a promotion part of the deal, which meant that we had more access to publicity, to monies for videos and so forth and so on. So there was a greater impact for us with this shift. But that wasn't the case with Pendulum Records. When they moved from WEA, which was Warner, Elektra, and Atlantic, all into one, and all the labels underneath them, over to Capitol, the move wasn't strong for Pendulum, and the grass was not greener on the other side. And artists like Chris Walker were one of the guys who felt the pinch from it. Along with the other artists, Disco Planets and everything, they saw that their careers fade into the atmosphere, where they became almost non-entities, or they became not even, they went from being known to almost being unknown. And that's what happened with Chris Walker. And the reason why this guy, who should have been a star at R&B radio and should have been here for the long haul, just disappeared from radio and from the collective consciousness of R&B, lovers and singers, people who love the music. During his absence, of a number of years, he did eventually, get a chance to sign with some other labels and release some other projects. These two albums that he actually did release over a period of time during his almost music exile, but it didn't get the love that he wanted it, or it didn't get the traction that the earlier albums did when he came out earlier in his music career. But interesting thing is that in his time away from major radio and major R&B scene, what he got involved with next is the same thing that is leading his revolution to becoming back into our collective consciousness. And the reason why I want to try and share with you what he's up to now and what he's doing now. During his time off, he actually started working a lot with the jazz legend Al Jarreau. What a man Al Jarreau was and is. His legacy that he left behind, the music that he left behind. Chris Walker started playing with him, and for a time also became the musical conductor for him. And his relationship with Al Jarreau is what prompted him that when Al Jarreau passed away, he decided to do a tribute album to Al Jarreau and to share with the world the greatness of Al Jarreau. Now, if you never met Al Jarreau, let me tell you, he is the most genuine and the most realest person you will ever meet, not only just in the music business, but also in the world. He just oozes energy and love, and I think it came across in the music, but if you ever met him, you would realize that that wasn't an act, that's who he was. Short story, I remember one Saturday we were working at Santa Market Record Store, and I'm putting music out and helping customers. And I turn around and look, and who do I see come walking up the steps? Mr. Al Jarreau. Now that day he was actually doing an in-store at one of our competitors, Tower Records, and he didn't like the experience. You know, the people that were there to see him, to get autographs and interviews like that, they didn't really know his music. They really didn't know much about him, even though they were, you know, getting CDs and signing autographs and such. So he asked one of the people there, you know, one of the customers that were, you know, there to see him, well, where's the real record store at? And they told him about Santa Market, which was, you know, a couple blocks down the street, which prompted him to walk down the street after that in-store was over and come by and visit us. I tell you, Al Jarreau has been the best in-store we ever had, that we didn't even plan on having, because he came and sat with us for 4 hours in the store, meeting fans, talking to customers. He was so happy and jubilant, because the one thing about Santa Market customers that I always loved and appreciate is that we had very intelligent, very smart customers who were true music lovers and connoisseurs. So they knew Al Jarreau's music inside out, who played on his albums, who he played with, all his different songs, and he was taken aback by the energy and the knowledge of our customers, which prompted him to want to stay there that long to deal with customers. Not only did he stay there that long, but at least 3 customers, he was so happy with what was going on, he actually bought what they were buying, their music that they were buying for that day. I came out of his pocket and paid for their purchases because he was so happy and so excited. That's the kind of guy Al Jarreau was and is. And so much so that when it was time to close, I had to kick him out because he didn't want to leave. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the, out of here. So it was just a pleasure getting a chance to spend time and meet Al Jarreau. He even called me the next week, just to see how I was doing and catch him. I mean, we just met, and he's calling me back, just to see how things are. That's who Al Jarreau, a genuine human being, and you will not find anyone even more genuine. So I understood that when he decided to do a tribute to Al Jarreau, Chris Walker, I understood it because that's how great this man was, and he was deserving of that. And that's what we got. We got a great album, or a great project by Chris Walker doing a tribute to the late, great Al Jarreau.
Hands together. You can dance if you want to, it's all right. Have some fun. I'm on in Mr. Radio. I'm on in Little Curio. Morning, sister on Rio. I need to tell you everything is fine. Ooh, in my mind. That's the spirit, darling. That's it right there. I'm on in Mr. Shoeshine Man, shining bright and white and tan. My baby said she loves me, and I need to tell you that everything is just fine. Keep where in my mind so excuse me if I say my heart has found its waiting. I've been searching high and low, and now at last I know, Lupe.
Now the project We're in This Love Together, a tribute to Al Jarreau, was a collection of great musical stars, that joined Chris Walker in paying tribute to their fallen friend. Artists like Dave Koz, Rick Braun, Paul Jackson Jr., Regina Belle, Will Downing, just to name a few of the people, Randy Boland, that was on this particular record, that lended their expertise because of a man that they loved and we also loved when we heard his music. And that's, a project that you need to have in your collection, something that you need to be listening to hear, to know that one, not only is this a great music or a great CD of Al Jarreau's music by so many great artists and musicians who really truly loved him, but also this is a part of the Chris Walker comeback into our collective consciousness, and we here at Shine a Light want to be a part of that, so you would know that this man who went from starting out playing with Ornette Coleman, so he has the jazz background, from his beginnings, to performing with and being the musical conductor of Regina Belle, to jumping out on his own and becoming a rising star at R&B radio, to now finally making his comeback and being a man of his own, to paying tribute to his friend Al Jarreau and giving us new music on his own terms and in his own way. That's where Chris Walker is now, and that's where he's at today.
Radio, morning little Cheerio, morning sister Oreo. Did I tell you that I'm finally where in my mind, Matt, you know about this. I said morning little radio, morning little Cheerio, wake up sister Oreo. Where in my mind, here we go. So don't you know everything is fine. I bet you we can make a rhyme. So don't you know every little thing is fine. Everything is for the
Now you can pick up We're in This Love Together, tribute to Al Jarreau, if you go to Chris Walker's website, chriswalkermusic.com. And on there you will find where you can not only purchase that record, but you can also find out more about Chris Walker and what he's doing now. And that's what we want to leave you with. We want to leave you with a new single by Chris Walker, a song called My Queen, a song that he's dedicating to his wife, but at the same time it's also a love letter to black women in particular and women in general, that we should, really love and cherish and take care of our queens in our lives. That there's a message that we should be getting from that song and from Chris Walker is that we should, as men, take care of the women in our lives, love them, provide for them, take care of them, and if we take care of our queens, they'll treat us like kings.
It's been a long day and I can't wait for you to get home. Dinner's on the table and dessert is almost done. I've been thinking about you all day, trying to figure out what to say. I get so excited 'cause you're in my life, and I want you to know, in your eyes I see love, in your eyes I see so much.
Trust me, my queen, come to me. I wanna hold you in my arms, feel your body next to mine, making love to you all night, my queen. Ooh, we've only been together for a year, and my heart is all so clear. This shouldn't last forever, oh, because a woman like you gives love and affection for all that you do for me. How could I ever leave? In your eyes I see love, in your eyes I see so much. Trust me, my queen, come to me. Feel your body next to mine, making love to you all night, my queen. When I wake up every morning and you're next to me, I know I can't live my life without you. And I wanna let you know I'll never let you go, and that you count on me for sure, girl. We'll be together forever. In your eyes I see so much. Just me, my queen, yeah. I wanna hold you in my arms, feel your body next to mine, making love to you. I'll never let you go, girl. Hey, I wanna hold you in my arms, feel your body right next to mine, making love to you, my queen. Oh, baby, yes, you are my queen.
So once again, we thank you for tuning in to this particular episode of Shine the Light, where we took the time to shine a light on Mr. Chris Walker, on his career and on his life and what he's doing now. We thank you for indulging us for just a few moments here at Euphoria Media. We thank you for tuning in. Take the time, go to our channel on YouTube and like this video. Comment, let us know what you think about it. Share it with friends, let them know about what we're doing here, as well as with Chris Walker. Go back and check out his catalog. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the music that he's put out, and you'll be impressed and empowered by his voice and also his musical acumen, as well as the songs and the music that he gave us over the years. And then also subscribe to Euphoria Media. That's how we know that you're there and that you support what we're doing, and we can keep giving you the programming that we do over this time and over the years. Once again, thank you for tuning in as we continue to shine the light.